Most of the season, we'll be giving you live streams on our YouTube channel. Subscribe to KGFX's YouTube channel and see and hear the games, whether it be football or volleyball or basketball, maybe even wrestling later on in the next sports season. We lost our feed a little bit ago, but we do have it back. Hope you can rejoin us if you were watching this game. 4th and 4 coming up for the Buffaloes in the Blackhawk 30-yard line. Hannum takes a shotgun snap, looking for Hofteaser over the middle of the field. And he may have telegraphed that one. The linebacker, Wesley Link, he saw that one all the way and knocks it down. So an incomplete pass will end the threat here for the Buffaloes, and they'll turn it over on downs. Stanley County ran 7 offensive plays. So far they have a 10-6 play call advantage here in the second half. 2:10 left to go in the third, though. The Blackhawks will take over, and they've got it. Now on their own 30-yard line, heading back from right to left. Landon Walter under center. And a handoff that almost didn't happen here. Linky coming up, and he'll bounce out to the right side. Did not get much, if anything. Walter turned around, and Linky had almost run all the way past him. Bit of a stretch play. Jaden Face, among others, in on the stop, I believe I heard. So Blackhawks have it 2nd and 10. Longest running play tonight for the Blackhawks is 11 yards. The first running attempt of the night by the quarterback. That came on a quarterback sneak. Walter's in the pistol this time. Inside handoff. Linky is wrapped up again, and here's Isaac Cliff. Got some help on that one as well. Maybe Austin Hand. Nice job again by the Buffalo defense, and a loss of 5 back to the 25. So it'll be 3rd and 15 for Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. As we approach the final minute here of quarter number 3, 10-0 still our score. We didn't have any scoring in the first. The Buffaloes scored 10 points in their last 2 possessions of the second quarter of play. And it looks like this third quarter probably will not feature any scoring either. 3rd and 15 out of the shotgun. Walter wants to throw, has a man, and it's broken up by Riley Hannum. Aiden Wormstead coming from the left side on a crossing pattern. It was a good route. Pretty well thrown ball, but Hannum hit Wormstead immediately as that pass came into his hands. Perfectly played hit by Hannum in coverage. And so, another punt coming here for Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. Noah Dixon will boot it away for the 5th time tonight. It's a high snap. He steps into it, got maybe his best kick of the night, but Buffaloes will have a chance for a return. And Hannum, unfortunately, as he was taking that receive, had his knee on the ground. Still good field position for the Buffaloes. Blackhawks have 3 possessions here in this third quarter, and they've gone 3 and out all 3 times. So credit the Buffalo defense. And with 40 seconds left in the third, Stanley County will have it at their own 44-yard line. Getting a little chilly tonight now. It was about mid-50s when we started this ball game, but seems to be quite a bit cooler now. Hannum, first down snap, keeping it himself. Now he pitches out. J.D. Carter breaks a tackle, far side, 40 to the 30, 20, breaks one more tackle, 10-5 and a touchdown. And J.D. Carter does it again.
J.D. Carter.
Talked a little while ago about big plays. The Buffaloes turn in the first big offensive play of the night, a 56-yard touchdown run for J.D. Carter. Hannum had a quarterback keeper going out on the left side out of that shotgun snap, and he pitches to J.D. J.D. broke a couple of tackles along the way. The last man to beat, he got by him at about the 10-yard line, and again, the speed, especially on the outside of J.D. Carter, a big difference in the Buffaloes' favor. The kick is good from Reed Wazorek, and the Buffaloes score at the end of the third quarter with 30 seconds to play. New score, the Buffaloes 17, the Blackhawks nothing. We'll take a 30-second break. Buffaloes will kick when we return with more from homecoming night on Stanley County Football.
Care should be as unique as you are. At Avera Breast Center, our team of experts create a treatment plan that will work best for your type of cancer, using the latest screening, radiation, and surgical techniques. You also have access to holistic approaches to help with side effects, and a 24/7 call center for answers to your cancer questions when you need them. Learn more at avera.org/breast or by calling 855-697-2592.
Big play for the Buffaloes, a one-play scoring drive from the 44 of the Stanley County. They get a 56-yard touchdown run on the option pitch from Riley Hannum. Carter down the left sideline. Reed Wazorek tacks on the PAT. Play took 14 seconds. And just like that, it's 17-0 Buffaloes with 30 seconds to play. We're in the third. And we welcome you back. Low line drive kick. Couple of hops taken by a Blackhawk deep man. This is a return. Perhaps it is Olinger again, Clay Olinger, who's been a busy player, and especially on defense and special teams tonight. Decent return. Out across the 30-yard line. The Blackhawks will have it 1st and 10, just shy of the 31. They've got 23 seconds left in this quarter, but obviously a full fourth quarter to go. But Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central, who has not had a first down since the first quarter of play, facing a tall task against a very good Stanley County Buffalo defense here tonight. Landon Walter in the shotgun. Jet sweep coming left side, but one of the Buffaloes broke that up. Here comes Linky, though, as he turns the corner upfield. And that's on the up the near hash mark. And I believe that was Linky. It was a pretty good gain on first down. Get some motion going. 7 yards up ahead of the 35, spotted at the 37-yard line. That's the last play of quarter number 3. The Buffaloes add to their lead with a big run from J.D. Carter. And on the Wagner Auto scoreboard, they lead Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central 17-0. Wagner Auto Appear is the one place to go with all their inventory online at wagnerauto.com. 60-second break. We go to number 4, quarter number 4, that is, when we return to our coverage of Buffalo football on KGFX and drgnews.com.
The Stanley County Booster Club was proud to have infused over $18,000 back into the district last year through the Wish List program. That money was raised through the operation of the concession stand. Wow, right? If you want to be part of a group that gives back in a big way, they meet the first Monday of each month, 6:30 p.m. at the Valley Tap in Fort Pierre, or they'd love your help working in the concession stand. It's easy. They use Sign Up Genius. Take a look. You can find a link and even more information on their Facebook page. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
For a limited time, Oahe Federal Credit Union is having a certificate special with a 1 or 2 year rate of 2.25% APY or a 6-month certificate with 1.75 APY. Minimum certificate deposits are $1,000. Our cutoff date for this special is September 18th, 2018. Stop in at 221 East Pleasant to see Roseanne about your certificate needs today.
Back at Ole Williamson Field, checking Twitter feeds, and meanwhile, the fourth quarter has begun. Blackhawks with a short gain. It was a 2nd down and 4, but there's a flag coming in at the end of the play, and it's a face mask by the Buffaloes. The accidental variety, so a 5-yard gain will give, 15. They're walking this up, and that's going to be a first down for Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central, their first down since the first quarter of play. Just into Stanley County territory at the 49. That's the 4th Buffalo penalty marked against them tonight. Walter back to pass on first down, tucks and runs up the middle of the field, has room, 45 to the 40, to the near side, stiff arms, and is taken out of bounds, hit at the 30, and ridden out
Walters on the carry.
by J.D. Carter. Landon Walter turning in the biggest play of the night for the visitors.
First 10 for the Blackhawks.
All the way to the 30-yard line. That's a pickup of 20. Well, we'll call it 19 by Landon Walter. And we'll see if this gives some life to this Blackhawk offense. They're in Stanley County territory for the first time since the first quarter. Walter looked to throw right. Now tucks and runs back to the left side, far side of the field. He'll be taken down by Lathan Prince. Inside the 30 to about the 27, maybe the 26.
4-yard gain, second down 6.
Second and 6 coming here for the Blackhawks. You can tell just by the way he plays the game, Walter has that ability to lead his team, although he is a little bit inconsistent when throwing the football. There's just 2 completions tonight and 9 tries. And he's looking to throw here. He wants to throw long, and this one will be picked off. Receiver fell down. J.D. Carter has it inside the 5-yard line, now near side, and he will be dragged down up ahead of the Blackhawk, or of the Stanley County 40-yard line. Driven out by Wesley Linke, but again, J.D. Carter makes a big play. Now there's a flag down in the middle of the field. I believe this is going to be post-possession. We also have a Blackhawk. And I don't mean this with a pun intended, but we have a Blackhawk down on the Blackhawks sideline right down in front of us. Pass intercepted, and again, Landon Walter looking on a long route. The receiver fell down at around the 5-yard line, though. And this play began at the 26-yard line. The flag out at the 45, and they're going to mark against the Buffaloes from there a 15-yard mark-off back to the 29-yard line. But Stanley County will retain the possession, and they'll have it 1st and 10 at the 29. Third turnover of the night by the Blackhawks.
At the end of the third quarter, where the Booster Club
10:44 here on the fourth quarter clock, and again, J.D. Carter just continues to make plays. He scored both the Buffalo touchdowns tonight, and now he picks a pass off. So from the 29, with 10:44 to go, the Buffaloes come out 1st and 10, looking to add to it. Sustained drives, keep that clock moving, although they'll run to the sideline, and J.D. Carter run out to stop the clock. Just ahead of the 30-yard line, might have picked up a couple. And it'll be second down and about 8. J.D. Carter's long run of the night, only 13 yards. He did have a longer run wiped away from a penalty back in the first quarter as well, but the Buffaloes would love to still get that young man running.
Yard-line contest. The North 37 is owned by
Played a couple of series in that win over St. Francis last week, but Dillon definitely going to be one of the Buffaloes who will be kicking his feet up next Friday night when the Buffs are on a bye. Brady Hoftees the ball carrier, the fullback, first man through, another couple of yards, maybe to the 33. I've got Brady with 6 carries on the night. 5 of them have gone just 2 yards, but he did have a 14-yarder earlier as well. 3rd and 6 now for Stanley County. Leading 17-0. Twins baseball not on the air tonight, but it looks like the Twins having a pretty good game against Chicago. They beat the White Sox 2-1 in a makeup game this afternoon. Here comes Carter again, 45 to the 40, spins into Blackhawk territory, stays on his feet inside the 45 and brought down finally by Landon Walter and Wesley Linke at the Blackhawk 38-yard line. J.D. Carter just continues to make play after play after play, this time to the Blackhawk 44. That's a gain of 23.
After that gain of 23 yards, it's enough for Stanley County.
And J.D. is
First and 10, Buffalo.
Over 100 yards on the ground. Of course, his previous rushing attempt went 56 yards to the house. So with 9:37 left in the fourth quarter, the Buffaloes, I think you can tell finally with the number of plays that they have run in relation to their opponents, they're starting to wear down this Blackhawk defense a bit. Good chase here by Noah Dixon to run down Dylan Gabriel from behind. And again, Dylan got stood up.
Tackled by Dixon.
So the defensive line still doing their job. As it looks like Alex Wormstead coming up limping a little bit, but he's ready to stay in there. Just a gain of a yard to the 43 for Dylan Gabriel. 15 carries, 31 yards. Just a 2-yard average here for Dylan tonight. That's the kind of night it's been. But again, the Buffaloes have found other ways to make plays. And they lead by 3 scores. 8:45 counting down. Lathan Prince is in motion, but they'll keep it up the gut. Gabriel with room this time. Oh, he spun. Almost got away from Landon Walter, but Walter does trip him up.
Tackle on the play by Walter.
Close to a first down. It'll be spotted at the 35-yard line. That's a gain of 8, and it'll leave 1 to go on a third down play coming up for the Buffs. That's, again, for Dylan Gabriel had a 13-yarder in the first quarter. The other 15 carries he's had have been no more than 3 yards until that one now. Third down and 1, Stanley County with a ball in between the hash marks right in the middle of the field. Hannum is under center. That means Hofteaser with a short yardage gain or short yardage situation. Hofteaser still on his feet, got stood up by Noah Dixon, and then they both kept playing hard. Whistles came maybe a little bit late. And this might not be a very favorable spot for the Buffaloes. Looked like the momentum of Hofteaser got him a little further than this, but just a half-yard gain, and it'll be 4th and inches just inside the Blackhawk 35-yard line. So no gain for Hofteaser. The Buffaloes are going to try to make the statement here. They lead 17-0, so they have a cushion, but sounds like Brady, or you can expect Brady to get the call again. They'll go again. He'll just lean in between right guard and right tackle. The big fellas on the line of the Buffaloes do the job. They'll get the first down here for Brady Hofteaser. And Stanley County will keep that Blackhawk defense out there a little bit longer. 2 yards on the dive for Hofteaser.
First and 10, Buffaloes.
Buffaloes with another first down. This will be their 8th play of this drive coming up. Second half plays so far. I've got Stanley County running 18, and the Blackhawks running just about 11 or 12 is all. 17-0 our score. Buffaloes will give it to Gabriel again. And another short gain. Putting him close to the 30. And he'll get 3. Clay Olinger in on the stop. 2nd and 7. 6.5 minutes to play. Buffalo's in good shape to win their 5th in a row. 1 game to go after this one. A bye week next week, and then the Chamberlain Cubs will come calling in a couple of weeks. Number 1 versus number 2 going to the 4th quarter, tied at 17. That's Bridgewater Emory Ethan, number 2 at number 1, Canton. Hannum wants to throw long, looking for Gabriel again. The Blackhawks they were more ready for this one. Wesley Linke had that one read well. So an incomplete pass as it went out of bounds, and in fact it was Linke who had the position, and it was broken up by J.D. Carter. In fact, I said Linke. It was Aiden Wormstead out there in coverage. So the incompletion makes it 3rd and about 7. Clock stopped, 6:03 to go, 4th quarter. Ball to the right of the middle of the field, but inside the far hash mark. Reed Wazorek will come wide to this side, the left. Carter heading out on the wing to the right side. They'll give it to J.D. again from the wing, and he will be wrapped up and spun backward. So the Blackhawks really starting to key in on J.D. Carter. They had good coverage on that long pass attempt, and well, they've no worries out on that right wing, and in this case, they have lost a yard back to the 31-yard line. It'll be 4th down and about 7 again for the Buffs. Stanley County is just in clock-chewing mode right now, though. 5:25, counting down, 17-0. They have the lead. See if they can execute on 4th and 7. Hannum's back to throw. He's over the middle. Pass is caught. Straight to the ground goes Carter, but it is a first down, I think, inside the 25 to about the 23. Well, it'll be close. Looks like they're going to move the chains. Sequence started at the 33. They get to the 23, 8-yard pickup, and another first down for the Buffaloes. J.D. Carter's sixth catch of the night. He's got 70 yards receiving. And I've also got him at 111 on the ground. So under 5 minutes to go, and that Blackhawk defense still out there. 12th play of the drive coming up. And we're coming on the 6-minute mark of this Stanley County possession. Gabriel on the stretch play to the outside right. He'll be spun down by the shirt collar. Not a horse collar tackle, but as he got spun. Another loss here. And one of the talented Wormstadt's in on the tackle once again. Looks like Dillon loses 3, and they'll call it at the 26.
Second down, 12.
4:15 to go. This possession started with 10 minutes and 44 seconds left in this fourth quarter. Right now we're coming down on the 4-minute mark. That means 6.5 minutes have gone by in this possession. And Max Foth and crew, they could not ask for anything more. Buffaloes don't have to score on this possession. That would just be icing on the cake. Taking all the time off the clock that they have is the first order of business, and they are executing that. Hannum on the fake of the jet sweep, kept it up the middle. It's inside the 25, close to the 20-yard line. They'll spot it at the 20. That's a 6-yard gain. Riley Hannum, who has not run the football as much this season as we saw him last year, but still, they pick their opportunities and take advantage when they can. Here comes a 3rd down and what do we got? 3rd and 8 according to the down marker, it seems. I thought it was a little closer than that. Oh, no, it was went from 3rd and 13 to 3rd and 8. At any rate, Gabriel carries to the 20. Again, no gain. So even as long as they've been out there, the Blackhawk defense may have bent a little. They have not broken at all. But you can't. You can only imagine how worn down they might be getting here. 2:35 left to go. The Buffaloes will take a timeout. An 8-minute drive that the Buffaloes are still on, still working on. It's 4th and 7. We'll take a timeout with them. It's their second charge timeout of the second half. 17-0 Buffaloes. We're back in 30 seconds on KGFX.
McDonald's in Pierre is hiring. This is Stacy Lee, the general manager of the Pierre McDonald's. We are offering flexible scheduling, advancement opportunities, along with great wages. McDonald's in Pierre wants you. McDonald's in Pierre is looking to add more talent starting at $10 an hour. Plus, McDonald's Archways to Opportunity provides eligible employees online program to get your high school diploma for free. Tuition assistance up to $3,000 a year and scholarships. Apply online at mcdonalds.com/careers or stop in at McDonald's in Pierre.
Back at Ole Williamson Field, the Buffalo football players trying to get everybody going into homecoming festivities or whatever they've got planned after football tonight. Buffalo's closing out right now a 17-0 lead, but this very long drive that has covered over 8 minutes of the fourth quarter and has gone 14 plays. coming to a head here. 4th and 7 now for Stanley County. Trips to the left. Hofteaser's in the slot. Hannum looks that way, now goes back over the middle of the field, almost intercepted, but the drive for Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central mercifully and finally comes to an end. They'll get their offense back on the field. Looks like Philip Hines was right there, but it falls incomplete. And after 15 plays, the Buffalo drive comes to an end. But again, from 10:44 down to 2 minutes and 30 seconds left in this game. 8 minutes and 14 seconds on that possession taken off the clock. Now the Blackhawks have it at their own 19-yard line. Hofteaser rushing from the left defensive end, gets his hand on a pass intended by Landon Walter. He was just trying to throw to Aiden Wormstead out on the flat on the near side. But the Buffaloes defend again. 2nd down and 10. Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central. They've won 3 games, fairly low scoring and very close games. Their last 2 they've defeated, Chamberlain in overtime last week, Redfield Dolan the week before. And they believe they defeated Wagner in the first week of the season in a fairly low-scoring game. Walter down the middle and looking for his tight end. And what was maybe an uncatchable ball, even though that doesn't really matter in high school football. But defense was there. Trey Ulmer, 152-pound senior, who again was injured a couple of weeks ago, started on defense tonight. Was not going to play offense unless he felt good enough on defense. So ran a nice route here, but pass just a little overthrown or thrown ahead of him. Blackhawks trying to make some plays through the air here. 3rd and 10 now, 2:21 left to play. They trail 17-0, and now a snap goes over the quarterback's head. Picked up inside the 5 by Walter. He tries to run. The Buffaloes will run him down. And I don't think he is in the end zone. Nope, he's just outside, maybe at the 2-yard line, but things went from bad to much worse there for the Blackhawks. And yardage lost, 17 yards all the way down to the 2-yard line. Tough break for Landon Walter. And all they can do from here now, 4th and 2, is ask their big punter to get it out of here. Minute 40, clock is running. The deep men for the Buffaloes are inside their own, the Blackhawk 30-yard line. And they're just going to let this one go. Big kick for Noah Dixon. It'll come to rest out near the 40-yard line of the Buffaloes. And the Blackhawks had to run it down. Seconds were ticking away. That's a very good decision from the special teams of the Stanley County Buffaloes. Actually, with that bounce, that's about a 57-yard punt for Noah Dixon, so very impressive in that regard. Stanley County will have it on their own 41-yard line. The Blackhawks have 3 timeouts, but we'll see if they elect to use them as they trail by 3 scores. And we only have 1:22 left to play in this one. See if Hannum just comes out, take a knee. Well, they'll hand it off. Dylan Gabriel still with another carry, starts right, cuts back to the left. He breaks out of an ankle tackle, and that is the prettiest 10 or 12-yard run we've seen tonight, and we're going to have a flag thrown in on the end of the play. Into Blackhawk territory. Alex Wormstead, and it's a face mask, 5-yard variety. So that'll be added on to the end of the run. 4th penalty marked against the Blackhawks tonight.
5-yard penalty.
And to the 43 after the penalties. So the gain of 11 for Dylan Gabriel. He's up to 50 yards now, and he's starting to get a little more running room, but he's making plays himself as well. So 1st down at the 43 of Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central. We're in the final minute. The Buffaloes are going to win their 5th straight ball game. They'll improve to 5-2 Blackhawks will fall even at 3-3. Two-game
Hannum takes a knee.
winning streak will come to an end. Riley Hannum takes to the knee here. And Stanley County will have to snap it one more time, and homecoming night will be in the books. Good ball game for the Buffaloes, and I tell you what, from game number 1 through game number 7 now, the offense has played better, but I don't think you can say enough about what the defense, the strides they have made in their game. The defense was the key in victories, especially over Mobridge Pollock a couple of weeks ago. Hannum takes a final knee, and that'll do it.
Ball game.
Good ball game and a good homecoming night for the Stanley County Buffaloes, who on the Wegner Auto scoreboard defeat the Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central Blackhawks by the score of 17-0. As we mentioned, Blackhawks falling to 3-3 on the season. They're 2-2 in the SESD. Stanley County improves to 2-2 in conference, but 5-2 overall on the year. And a bye week coming up, just Chamberlain left on the regular season in a couple of weeks. We'll talk about that coming up in a couple of minutes when we get into the post-game show. Got a lot to talk about, and we're back. After you listen to this, this is Stanley County Buffalo Football, 1060 KGFX and DRGnews.com.
Some banks proudly offer mortgage approvals in less than 8 minutes. 8 minutes for one of the largest purchases of your life. Doesn't leave much time for questions, does it? Think about it. Who really benefits from a speedy mortgage process? You or the lender? At First Dakota, we can't promise you an 8-minute mortgage, but we will promise you a thoughtful and transparent home buying experience. Home loans from First Dakota National Bank. Take all the time you need. Visit firstdakota.com. First Dakota is an equal opportunity lender.
Your cancer care should be as unique as you are. At Avera Breast Center, our team of experts create a treatment plan that will work best for your type of cancer, using the latest screening, radiation, and surgical techniques. You also have access to holistic approaches to help with side effects, and a 24/7 call center for answers to your cancer questions when you need them. Learn more at avera.org/breast or by calling 855-697-2592.
The Stanley County Booster Club was proud to have infused over $18,000 back into the district last year through the Wish List program. That money was raised through the operation of the concession stand. Wow, right? If you want to be part of a group that gives back in a big way, they meet the first Monday of each month, 6:30 p.m. at the Valley Tap in Fort Pierre, or they'd love your help working in the concession stand. It's easy. They use Sign Up Genius. Take a look. You can find a link and even more information on their Facebook page. The Stanley County Booster Club, proud to be SC.
Insurance. We all need it to protect our homes, health, businesses, and belongings. But having adequate coverage is just the beginning. You also need the support of professionals who stand by your side to protect what's important to you. Fisher Rounds & Associates combines the coverage you want with the commitment you need. Fisher Rounds & Associates. At your service, at your side. With offices in Pierre, Mitchell, Watertown, Sioux Falls, and Rapid City.
Well, a good homecoming night for the Stanley County Buffaloes. Slow start for both teams, but the Buffalo defense stayed at it. The offense got going in the late second quarter. They led at the half 10-0 with a 12-yard touchdown run from J.D. Carter, and at the buzzer, a 37-yard field goal kicked by Reed Wazorek. Into that second half, the teams traded 3 and outs with Springs and Stanley County, and then Wessington Springs again. The Buffaloes started to chew some clock with a 10-0 lead at 6:31 left in the third quarter. They had a 7-play drive, but did stall on downs after starting in Blackhawk territory. But Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central had really no offense in that second half at all. Their third 3 and out resulted in a punt. The Buffaloes end up at their own 44-yard line, and J.D. Carter, who just makes play after play after play, found an end around, and he goes 56 yards. In fact, it was an option pitch. It was a quarterback keeper starting to the left from Riley Hannum, but then he pitched out to Carter, who took it down the left sideline across the field, and he broke a couple of tackles along the way, outran the last man to get him to have an opportunity to him at about the 10 or the 12-yard line, but J.D.'s speed is everything especially on that play. 56 yards for the touchdown. Reed Wazorek with a perfect PAT made it 17-0. That came with 30 seconds left in the third quarter of play. On the ensuing Blackhawk possession then, they started their own 31-yard line. They get a nice run from Landon Walter to get to the Buffalo 49 in a first down, and then they tacked on a penalty, actually. Well, I take that back. The run of 6 that got them to the 15-yard line. No, to the 37 and then 15, put them ahead of the 50-yard line into Buffalo territory. Then they advanced all the way to the 26-yard line a couple of plays later, and as Walter continued to try to throw the football, he threw down the middle. Receiver fell down. Walter tried to I think he might have underthrown the receiver anyway, but J.D. Carter played it perfectly. So Carter makes a big play on defense. He advances it out to midfield, but there was a personal foul post-possession against the Buffaloes. So they started back at their own 29-yard line. And with 10:44 left in the ball game, I think these signature drive could be one of the signature drives of the season, even though the Buffaloes didn't score. They go 15 plays. They pick up 3 first downs along the way. They chew up 8 minutes and 14 seconds off of that fourth quarter clock. Eventually, the drive would stall on downs. The Blackhawks took over on their own 19-yard line with 2.5 minutes left, but another 3 and out. The only first down of the second half for Wessington Springs was by virtue of a face mask penalty. And, again, the offense just couldn't get plays made. Give credit to that Buffalo defense tonight. They were the story in pitching a shutout tonight. And I'll tell you what, you do that on homecoming night, and that just makes it feel a little bit sweeter. So a great game for the Buffaloes as they win it 17-0. Buffs roll up 258 yards of total offense compared to just 61 for the Blackhawks tonight. Stanley County with 202 on the ground. They're led by J.D. Carter with 111 yards, 2 touchdowns of 12 and 56 yards. That coming on 7 carries. Dylan Gabriel carried 20 times tonight. Did not have a Dylan Gabriel average. The Blackhawks bottled him up time and time again. They did a great job on Dylan. 20 carries, though, 50 yards all told. Brady Hofteaser will carry 8 times for 26 yards. Riley Hannum gets 9 yards on 6 carries. Reed Wazorek, 1 carry for 8 yards, and Lathan Prince had 1 carry for a loss of 2. So 202 unofficially on the ground. Through the air, Riley Hannum, 9 of 16 for 83 yards all told, but sacked 3 times in the first half for losses of 27 yards, so 56 yards total passing offense, 258 total on the game. The Buffaloes pick up 13 first downs along the way. They were penalized 5 times for mark-offs of 55 yards, but they did not turn the football over at all in this game. Receiving, by the way, J.D. Carter, who had 111 yards on the ground with 2 touchdowns, had 6 catches for 70 yards as well. Brady Hofteaser caught 2 balls for 8 yards, and Lathan Prince had a 5-yard grab as well. So those are the stats in Stanley County's favor in this one. As we mentioned, just 61 total for the Blackhawks tonight. They get 56 on the ground. Wesley Linke, 12 carries for 30 yards. They get 28 yards from Landon Walter on 6 carries. He had a pretty good average, but when that shotgun snap went over his head and he picked it up and got tackled down to the 2-yard line for a loss of 17, that kind of cut into his rushing total, but 56 all told for the visiting squad. Through the air, Walter goes 2 out of 12 for just 12 yards and was sacked once for a loss of 7 yards. So 5 yards of passing offense, 56 on the ground, just 61 in the game. The Blackhawks committed 4 penalties, all of the 5-yard variety. By the way, the 2 completions both go to tight end Noah Dixon for those 12 yards, 1 for 16, but 1 for a loss of 4. Just 1 first down in the second half, 4 overall. And the big number, I think, for Woonsocket was the 3 turnovers. 2 fumbles lost in the first half, and then the interception in that second half. So, again, all contributing to the shutout for the Buffaloes as they defeat Woonsocket Wessington Springs Sanborn Central 17-0 tonight. A lot of things to talk about, including the player of the game. How are we ever going to choose a player of the game for the Buffaloes when everybody contributed in the shutout tonight? Well, we'll try to figure out who it's going to be. Our player of the game, as always, brought to you by Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierce. So listen to this, and we're back for the announcement of your player of the game.
When you need building supplies, there's no need to go anywhere except to Bauman Lumber in Fort Pierre. Bauman Lumber is locally owned and offers quality products, expert advice, free estimates, and free local delivery for large or small projects. Whether it's a home improvement project, remodel job, or all new construction, they even welcome special orders. Quality building materials at affordable prices for residential or commercial projects can be found at Bauman Lumber, 1223 Sale Barn Road in Fort Pierre, or call 223-9762.
Well, the Bauman Lumber player of the game. And I tell you what, for the Buffaloes, now J.D. Carter, again, shining brighter than everybody else with 181 yards of total offense, couple of touchdowns, had an interception in this game, had some pretty good return yardage as well. We really want to go defensive in this one, obviously. J.D. does have a T-shirt from me earlier this year. Riley Hannum played a good game at linebacker, but he was our player of the game a couple of weeks ago in Mobridge as well. Tracy Nielsen played well, got his name called quite a bit tonight, but I think I gave him a T-shirt in the Custer game earlier this season, so really tough to pick. I think we just have to pick somebody. You know who I'm going to go with, I think, is that kicker. Reed Wazorek had a 37-yard field goal tonight, and he played well on defense, played well all around. Reed's one of these guys that just does whatever is asked of him, and made a tough kick with a high snap. Riley Hannum got it down, but a 37-yard field goal to close out the first half, and also had a big 8-yard run that advanced an ultimate and eventual scoring opportunity for the Buffaloes too. So Reed Wazorek, and this is kind of in representative of the rest of the defense. But I'll tell you what, Tracy Nielsen, Will Spangenberg, Austin Hand, those guys up front, they did a heck of a job tonight. And I don't have enough T-shirts to hand around to everybody, but they all deserve a big pat on the back. Brady Hofteaser as well, Jaden Face, the linebackers, Isaac Cliff, job well done. Garrett Shop, Anderson, everybody. Pitching the shutout, but Reed Wazorek will be our player of this one tonight. So we'll get him a T-shirt from KGFX Sports. And Bauman Lumber, noting his accomplishments, the Buffaloes win it on homecoming night. So we look ahead, and as we said, the Buffaloes have the night off next week, the weekend off, and hopefully they can get the guys that have been banged up, healed up 100%. They'll welcome in the Chamberlain Cubs in 2 weeks, as that'll be October 12th. That'll be the final regular season game. The Buffaloes with a 5-2 mark going into that one. If they can get one more, I think Stanley County. I think the main idea in Region 4 of 11B is just try to stay away from the Winter Warriors, who probably will be the number 1 seed. But Stanley County is going to be battling with Red Cloud and Lee Deadwood in the 2 and 3 spots, perhaps, of the region standings. So we can look at and prognosticate all we want, but hey. That's for a later conversation. So Chamberlain here in 2 weeks. Next Friday night, by the way, we'll go regional. We've got the Sully Buttes Chargers hosting Langford area here on KGFX. That'll be a 7 o'clock kick. We'll be in Oneida starting at 6:35 next week. Hope you can join us for that. Woonsocket, Wessington Springs, Sanborn Central, in the meantime, has their home finale as they take on Aberdeen Roncalli next Friday night before going to Winter to close out the regular season in 2 weeks. That'll do it for the football coverage. What we've got for scores is just whatever had been thrown at us. I really haven't seen a lot of scores. Big game of the night, by the way, in Canton. Canton leads Bridgewater Emory Ethans 24-17 with 6 minutes left. That's number 1 leading number 2. And Winter, by the way, Winter in Chamberlain, the Cubs are playing spirited ball tonight. They trail just 22-19. They are at the half. And now Potter County has taken a lead against Timberlake. Timberlake found maybe met its match here in Gettysburg. That's a good one going on KMLO. It's 30-24. Battlers in the 4th. So you got a couple of other games you could tune into. Pierre Governors were leading at Sturgis 28-0 at half. That's on River 92.7. And Mobridge Pollock had a 30-0 lead over Shining Butte at home on KOLY FM as well. So with that, we will say, have a great rest of homecoming night. Stay safe, everybody. And tune in for our next coverage. Next Friday night, Sully Buttes against Langford area. And then 2 weeks from tonight, Stanley County hosts Chamberlain. For Chuck Hansen, who's run the show in makeup duty tonight, or at least stepping in to fill a hole. Thanks a lot, Chuck, for doing what you do. And Stanley County Buffalo football has been brought to you on KGFX and DRGnews.com. By the way, don't forget on your way to or from the game, the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety reminds you to not to text and drive. It's better left unread than dead. Don't text and drive. From the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety. Buffalo football sponsored by First Dakota National Bank, the Stanley County Booster Club, McDonald's, and Avera St. Mary's Hospital in Pierre. Also sponsored in part by Oahe Federal Credit Union, Bottom Line Welding, Fisher Rounds and Associates, and Bank West of Pierre. Games brought to you within the game as well by the South Dakota Office of Highway Safety, the Boyd Kazemius Agency, Teton River Traders Gun Shop, the South Dakota Attorney General's Office, Lynn's Dakota Mart, CHS Midwest Cooperatives, Bauman Lumber, and Wagner Auto. Keep in mind, we've had the video feeds up and running through YouTube.com. You can view this game again at your leisure through YouTube.com. Subscribe to KGFX channel and all of our Dakota Radio Group channels for that matter. For Chuck Hansen back in studio, I'm Brian Oakland, your final Wagner Auto scoreboard. Stanley County defeating Woonsocket West Big Spring Sanborn Central 17-0. Happy homecoming. Have a great weekend, everybody.